Welcome to The Right Connection, the show where we bring singles together for a unique blind dating experience. I'm your host, Marcus Hart, and this is my wife,
Kia Hart.
We're excited to have you join us.
Here on The Right Connection, we take a different approach by setting up blind dates between individuals we believe could be a perfect match. Get ready to witness the excitement, the surprises, and the genuine moments as two strangers take a chance on love. This is The Right Connection. Welcome to The Right Connection 1 month check-in, and I'm your host, Kia Hart, and this is my husband,
Marcus.
Where we dive deep into discussion with our match couples to learn a little bit more about life after the show. Today we have sitting with us our very first match couple, Dave and Shaquana. How are you guys?
Great.
Well, let's get straight into how things have been post-show. Let's start with you, Shaquana. How was your experience on the show? And did the show meet your expectations?
No, I had a great time. I did. I had a good time. I love doing, I guess, in a sense, social experiments in that way. So I love doing it. I love meeting you guys and meeting Dave. I think the final product exceeded my expectation. You know, how everything just came together with the show and everything. So I think it's great. It's been great.
Okay. What about you, Dave?
Honestly, I had a horrible time. I'm kidding. No, it was really, really good. It definitely exceeded my expectations for sure. So
Okay.
Cool. Dave, I'll start with you for the next question. So when you initially took off your blindfold, were you attracted to what you seen in Miss Shaquana? And tell me just about the first time you seen her and what you thought.
yeah. So honestly, I put my before just because I didn't know what I was going into. I put my expectations extremely low, and I was like, if it's a rabbit, that's cool. If she's a rabbit, that's cool. But I took my blindfold off and I was like, oh wow, okay. So so yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
What about you, Shaquana?
I probably same. I think that I'm just open. So initial attraction was there, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so Shaquana, we heard that you guys went to lunch after the show. How was that initial first date with no cameras, no lights, no prompted questions? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a good time. I think we were there for, I want to say 3 hours. I think so. I think it was either two to 3 hours. And we just talked, and I could tell when we were answering the questions that there were more things to kind of fill in the blanks and make sense initially. So I was excited to piece all that stuff together. And I think I said it in one of the interviews. I'm excited to pull back the layers. And it was like we were able to talk through some of the deep things make sense, but then also have a lighthearted conversation too. And, laugh and get to know each other and see what makes sense. If that makes sense. So yeah,
Okay.
it's hard.
Wait, where did you guys go?
Some Mexican restaurant up the road. I don't remember the name of it. It was in a plaza.
Okay. So on Shaquana's end, it was a good date. Dave, tell us about your point of view.
Yeah, so the questions were you guys did great with the questions. I did want some lighthearted questions like if you're stuck on an island, what are you gonna bring? Like I want like favorite color, like least favorite thing to eat, stuff like that. So afterwards, as soon as it ended, she was like, "Do you want to go get something to eat?" And I was like, "Is the sky blue?" Like, yes, 1000%. But when we went, I didn't expect to be there as long as we did. just because we were like laughing so much and realizing how on point you two were. It was really really fun. We were, yeah, like she said, we were there for probably 2-3 hours. I want to say 3 hours, but we were there for a long time.
Wow, that's amazing.
I love
That
it.
is amazing.
I love to hear it. So you guys are just joking about anything, or was it just specific things? Y'all got insiders yet?
No, not yet, but I don't know. I'm funny.
No, I like for me, I wanted to know a little, like in that I wanted to know a little bit more of the kid. I wanted to know like where she was living, what she was in for work, stuff like that. And she asked more in-depth questions like what I do for work specifically and stuff like that. So favorite
Okay.
foods, least favorite foods, stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all have any common interests in food?
Um, I don't think so.
There, because I don't like seafood. She does
Yeah.
like seafood. So, okay, I yeah that yeah.
Okay.
So our next, we'll get back to that, but our next question, I guess we sort of jumped the gun a little bit. So y'all have been talking since the first date, and I'll let Dave go first.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have kept in contact. It obviously we are extremely long distance. So and we both have busy lives. Like she's a worship leader and doing work. I'm working with a place that's understaffed and lead and doing some at church. So it's not as much as we would want, but like we still keep in contact for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. How is it on your end, Shaquana? Do you feel like you guys are talking as much as you like, or are you okay with, the way the flow of it is right now?
I'm okay right now. Um, yeah, I'm okay right now. I think I think we do. I agree that we do have real busy lives, but I'm okay right now.
Okay. So I'm gonna get a little bit in y'all business right now.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Have y'all had any phone calls, FaceTime calls? Do y'all usually text?
Who's going first?
Dave.
Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, Dave.
We have had a couple I like to FaceTime. She likes to voice memo. So we talk when we can. We FaceTime when we can, but just because life we could get a little better at phone calls. We just I don't know if it's time to say, but like we kind of did just DTR a little bit and just kind of define where we were at and some things that we both could work on uh, in the communication lane.
Hold on, I'm a little slow. What does DTR mean?
Define the relationship.
Okay.
So like, what are we doing?
Okay.
So like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what was the answer to that?
We're both interested in each other. We're seeing where it goes. The distance for me was a little bit of an issue just because I got back so late. And then it was quickly relieved after hearing her side and seeing like, I'm down to like travel to you, pick a day in advance. Since we're both busy, you can come to me, like stuff like that, and finding some quick solution. So that was
Okay.
pretty good. But yeah,
Okay. I believe one of y'all probably know who the person is, but whoever it was, they said it best when they said, I will cross the ocean for you.
crazy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I do want to know, I know, Dave, you were in Nashville,
Yes.
and Shaquana, you were somewhere in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of like Augusta, Georgia, South Carolina.
Okay. Got you. So how long of a distance is that for you guys?
7 hours.
It it's about 8 to 10 hours. Yeah,
Okay.
I can't remember the exact number just because it was like a couple weeks ago, a week ago that we just had I
Got you.
just looked it up, but it is a significant. Uh, I thought going into it that whoever was just gonna be like living near an airport and I can just hop on a plane and go, but
Got
her
you.
airport is a little smaller, so I'm like,
Okay.
ooh, I don't know if I'm hopping too quickly, but
Got you.
we'll make it work.
Okay. So Shaquana, how far are you from Savannah?
I think it's 2 hours, but Augusta has an airport.
Got you. Okay. I knew one of them had
Yeah,
an airport.
but I'm two
Okay.
hours away from all the airports. So Savannah and
Got you.
Greenville, I'm 2 hours away. Charlotte, I'm 2 hours away from.
It sounds like it could work.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, so I'm glad that we were able to hear a little bit about how it's been after and with the communication. That was like mainly what we were talking about every single day. Are Dave and Shaquana still talking? Do you know if they're still talking? Trying not to stalk your pages and to see information.
Now I will say that for this is just on my portions. Like there were, and she doesn't know this, so this is right connection exclusive. But there were a couple of times after a FaceTime where I would like where I did screenshot it and I was gonna post it, but then on my story of just both of us laughing, having a good time. But then I stopped and I was like, no, we have uh this this link up right now later, and I didn't want a bunch of people blowing up my. So you guys are together. You guys are together. So I didn't feel like so
Ooh.
I stopped.
Oh, y'all are making my
Okay.
hurt.
That's so funny.
I feel like when our episode came up and I made the wise decision to share it on my Facebook. Facebook is very personal.
Okay.
But it turned my church upside down.
In what ways?
In good, but it's the same thing like him having to think through, putting our screenshot on his story like y'all are still together. I know y'all are still together. Oh, I know that didn't work. I know. Okay, get out of
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I strategically didn't post it just because all my friends are extremely messy. So they all found it on their own. They're like, oh, so you weren't gonna tell me. I'm like, see, I knew you would find it on your own. So there's no point of me. And like a couple of guests at church that walked by, they're like, are you on something on YouTube? And I was like,
Yeah. That's so funny.
That is hilarious. Okay, so what's one thing you guys have learned about one another that surprised you? That surprised you
like in the beginning.
throughout this month process of you guys getting to know one another?
all of us.
Okay.
I think, and this is like in the best way possible. I think the more that I talk to him, the more that I realize Dave is a lot like me. And so that has been very surprising just in and of itself. Sometimes I could tell that he's a little all over the place, and I want to, in a good way, like in a good, just
Right, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
in a good way. And I'm like, oh, I'm like that too. When I'm a little bit more relaxed, I'm like that too. And so that's been funny to see. Literally, we are very similar.
Yeah, sure.
That's awesome.
I love it. What about you, Dave?
Honestly, uh, in that interview, I blocked out halfway through just because I just remember the questions were so hard for me that I was like starting to go brain dead. So watching it back was amazing for me, so that I could like see what I said, and listening to it was hysterical for me because I didn't realize how in the moment how similar we were and how matched we were. And even to the point when you guys were asking the little side interviews of like what we want and we're like what we're looking for, though I didn't say the R&B thing, they all were pretty much the same. We we were wanting to do next steps like kind of the same, so that was good.
Awesome.
For you.
One thing that would crack us up every time we looked was, I don't know if you noticed, but it was like you would stare and look at us for a quick second. Like, how did y'all know this?
Y'all,
And then,
well, it was when I think I told her this when she said that she sang. I looked at you guys like, you guys are what? You guys are crazy. So.
that's funny. I love it. All right. So, Dave, um, juicy question. And all the people on YouTube were in everybody's grill about it. So, Dave, how did you really feel about Shaquana having the young man in her life?
Oh, I I told her this. I honestly, when I was approached by you guys before it started, I you guys asked me because I said no. I didn't want anyone kids, and I thought about it as we were talking. I was like, you know what, like, there's a huge chance that someone our age like could have a kid, and so I braced myself. I just knew because you asked me that they were going to have a kid. So the first half, she said nothing about it. Like when I was like, what, like the question, like, what do you, how do you spend your Saturdays, or how do you spend your times off, and like how do you fill your cup, like stuff like that. I was like, she's had plenty of time to say that she has a kid. Like, oh, most of my days are with my kid, or like,
Yeah.
something my kid, and nothing came up. So when she didn't say it, like after a couple minutes, like a couple times, I was like, oh, so she doesn't have a kid. So when she finally did say it, I was like, oh, I was so thrown off by that point because I was like, I completely ruled it out, and so I was like, oh, okay, I was still, I love kids, I love being around kids. I'm like on summers, I'm like your typical camp counselor, like youth pastor, like that's my thing, and so kids don't bother me now. I didn't want a teenager. Like if she was like, he's like in high school, I probably would have ran mid-interview, but kids are fine. I was just waiting for, I told her I I was like, you had plenty of time to tell me that you had a
You
kid.
told her that?
That's so funny.
Yeah, we
That's hilarious.
Okay. How did you feel about that, Shaquana?
It was fine. I don't know. When you ask me what I'm doing on a Saturday, in my mind, it's a given that I'm with my child. But that's it's in my mind. Y'all didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, and on Saturdays,
But I
I,
was gonna say, fun fact. I didn't even think that either, because we're the same way. It's just, life is life on a Saturday. But the way those cars were lined, I did all that strategically.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Now that you're saying it, I knew it. Because by the time watching it back, watching it lead up, that question was like at the right. I should have shuffled them right then and there, right before Sunday.
I felt like that it was probably, I don't know, I guess in the back of my head, we would have a set time to talk about children. Like there would probably be a question about children. So that's going on in the back of my mind too. Like we gonna talk about it. We gonna get there. But oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I did have a shock look on my face, just because I was like, oh.
Everyone was saying that it looked like it caught you off guard, and why didn't we tell you in advance? Just to let everybody know, we did kind of tell Dave a little bit, but not too much because we didn't want you to go searching on who this person was. But
Oh, I tried that.
Yeah, we did say, what if she has a child? How would you feel about her having a child? So
Yeah.
that's good to know. Okay, so what do your friends and family have to say about you guys matching? Have they met each other's like friends? Or I know it's only a month in, but does your friends and family know about one another yet?
They don't want to.
Um, my friends and family know about the experience. They don't know Dave per se. They haven't met him. But they know about the experience, and everybody watched it. Everybody was just like, "Oh, that was a good episode. That was a good show." Um, some of my friends are my friends, so some of my friends are like, "Girl, you not being for real," because they just know about how I am about relationships. But some of them have followed up. Have you been talking to Dave? And then I tell if we've talked or not. And my parents are the same way. They just kind of let me do. They think I'm crazy anyway, so they just kind of let me do it all up. Like if she got something to tell, she'll tell us.
Right.
Hey, what do your friends mean how you are in relationships? What's that mean?
Like, I think the way I shared it, and then I don't provide context for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew that I was going, but I didn't necessarily provide context. So there's like, okay, are you serious or not? Because you're not saying anything. We know you're funny acting about sharing what you got going on, but like, what's going on for real?
Yeah.
So that's how they were hitting me. Like, girl, what's really going on? And I'm like, yeah, okay, we'll see.
We'll see. What about you, Dave?
My friends, they be I said this in the thing, like all because I am so picky and very particular. My friends were trying to read into my facial expressions a lot, and were like, "You don't like her." I was like, "Don't tell me who or I like, like don't." And uh, my parents were like, "Oh, she's so pretty," and I was like, "Yeah, she's great," but none of them have they haven't met her or anything. So
Okay.
It's early.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, Dave, what are you hoping for in the next month or two? And just, forwarding to get to know Shaquana.
Yeah, I would say just obviously I would love to see her world, see what's going on. Probably within a month, if I could see her area, hang out on her turf. Um, I link up for sure. I'll link up for sure.
Okay.
He said he want to see your turf.
Yeah, he said, I'm trying to see your turf. I'm trying to go where you lay your head over there. What about you, Shaquana?
Probably same. I think when we talked about this a few days ago, like or a week ago, I said you don't want to come to Augusta. Nah,
Yeah,
so
I was like, maybe we might have to need to go. But
you don't want to come down here, nothing down here. But no, same. I think being in each other's spaces, um, will be helpful. But I also think until we get to that point, also just the consistency and communication. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure, for sure.
Okay.
I was saying to her that I love hanging out. That's just how I am, and I know that if she was here, like I met her here, we would have hung out a million times by now. Put a name on it, put everything. But since we are so far apart,
Yeah, I
it
get
is
it.
it was a hard, a little yeah.
I
So,
get it. It's going to require a little bit more work for
yeah,
sure. But anything worth having is worth working for.
Hmm.
For sure.
So, have you guys had any misunderstanding yet? And if so, how did you guys work through them?
I don't think so. Okay. Yeah. We haven't. We haven't. I don't feel like we have had the opportunity to have misunderstanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So we'll just move on to the next question then. Um, All right, so there was a moment where we were trying to get this date set up for you guys where we can all have this catch up. And Dave, you stated, quote unquote, let me get on to Shaquana. How did that getting on to conversation go? Because I
No,
feel like a date was set right after that.
no, I think I did tell. I told you about this, didn't I?
You.
Yeah. So when we were trying to figure out the date, I'm obviously slow to respond every single time. I always forget to look at my DMs or text messages, stuff like that. But she's so busy, like with like church and stuff, and so at work, and so we would get a date, and then she'd be like, "Well, you guys messaged me and be like, oh, well, actually, she can't do this day," and I was like, "Okay." So that happened a couple of times, and then she was like, "Okay, she can do this day," and I was like, "Okay, what about this time?" Actually, she said she can't do this day anymore. She can do this time, and I was like, "Get her, get her together. I will call her right now."
Everywhere
Oh,
busy. My.
I did call her right after, actually.
Oh, you did?
I did. So
Oh, you were serious.
I don't know. You are so
What was I?
difficult.
What was I
She
doing?
was like,
Call? What was I doing when you called?
I think you're at work.
No,
I can't remember. I can't
I was
remember.
on the way. I was on the way to a whole gala. I was driving.
Oh yes, yes, yes. So I had just gotten to work. She was dolled up, about to go to a gala for her church, and I was like, "Stop being so difficult." And then so we laughed and we kind of up on the phone for like 20, 30 minutes, and then yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
We have great FaceTimes. You guys should definitely be jealous for sure.
For real? What's the FaceTimes like? Give us the tea. Like what?
It all goes down in the FaceTimes. Oh.
I'm assuming y'all sit here, y'all laugh a lot because it seems like y'all are smiling a whole lot, and I can kind of get a gauge that it's just a lot of laughter, and of course, some good conversations. Yeah, I can see good conversations. Okay.
Yeah. It's normally talking about how life's going. So
Okay. So, Dave, what would you say to any men that is afraid or doubtful to be on the show?
oh, just do it. Just do it. Why not?
Were
Because honestly, for me, before I wasn't going to do it, I felt that I was going to get it, but I was reluctant just because I have had picky tendencies. And then hopping on the phone with my friends that are like, and then the worst that could happen is like you guys don't end up a thing. And then I was like, oh, I mean that is true.
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is that we go our separate ways.
So what was your main reason of possibly not wanting to do it?
Just because I didn't want, I can't control my facial reactions. As you guys can all see, I made facial reactions at everything, and everyone loves to read into my facial expressions. So I just knew that if I wasn't connecting, it was going to be all over my face.
Okay.
So
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I was like, I will laugh in the moment. I'll make it awkward, and so I was like, let's just take me out of it. But then I obviously the Lord was like, so
Now,
yeah.
like, look who you met. Where
Yeah.
would you have met her before? So,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay. So we just have one more question.
I'll let you answer it or ask it.
Okay.
I thought you had 2 pages.
Yeah,
We've been flying through.
we
Oh,
yeah,
Mm.
flying through this. Okay, so what's next for the two of you? Are you guys working on anything, doing anything in specific that you want to share with everyone? Outside of, YouTube, but personal? I'll let you go first, Dave.
Like personally, what's going on next, or both of us, what's going on next?
Personally.
Or both.
Or both. Or both.
Uh, I
Okay.
answered the both for the next month thing question, but for me, just I'm so consumed with my job that I work so much. We're understaffed and they don't want to hire anybody, so I just work all the time. I'm just a typical yes man. So uh getting out of that and being able to breathe a little bit more. So just work for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
And
about
church, obviously
you?
church. Yeah,
Church.
for sure.
We love that. What about you, Shaquana?
Same. Work, church, and mommying. I feel like
I
that's what.
see I see that you did launch something recently on Instagram. What is
Yeah,
that? You want to tell us a little bit about it?
I came out with a digital journal for Black women. And I kind of talked through on my podcast. I kind of talked through like the importance of surrender in our lives, and then I just kind of put it in a journal. So I've been promoting that. And I'm excited about even what the Lord has already done through it with that in the podcast, I think. So yeah, just trying to remain consistent in those things because sometimes I
Yeah.
can be distracted, but no, it's been going well.
I've been seeing. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's huge. Okay. Well, I feel like we've learned a little bit more about where y'all are at and answered up any questions that anybody had.
I forgot to tell you guys, we also have been working on an album together. That's been going on pretty strong. And so
Wait,
I'm kidding.
Wait. How do
I'm
we
kidding.
go from oh boo?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was about to say,
what?
like, we just talking about work to an album.
I'm kidding. I'm
I was
kidding.
about to say,
But look, the people of God need that. So speaking
yeah.
into existence.
Would you guys be open to doing one together in the future?
Oh,
She would run circles around me.
Look, remember, stay in your pocket.
That's true. That's true.
no, we'll have a good time doing an album. Absolutely.
Okay, I'm about to say timeout. How do we breeze over that this entire time? And never mentioned an album this entire. We went 30 minutes with no topic of album. Crazy. But I can definitely see one in the future. I can definitely.
I do want to end on this note because our production team and my wife, they will tell me to shut up in a heartbeat. So this is just a shout out to you guys. I know people in the comments will be in the comments and they'll say or ask or do, but I just want to say that y'all too, the things that y'all have gone through and me asking you guys about the healing processes of what that looks like. Y'all been walking through it and y'all are who God said y'all are. And I just want people to know that we ain't just out here disregarding y'all's healing and how y'all have matured in XYZ. So if y'all want to tell these folks,
I know, because actually, before we end, we were definitely in the comments, reading comments, because for one, we have a no tolerate zone for any type of disrespect to our guests. I understand that doing these things comes with the territory, but when it comes to any sort of bashment of character and who you are as a person, all that, I don't I don't like seeing it on my behalf and I don't like seeing it on others' behalves. So I did see Shaquana just before we wrap up that you did respond back to a comment from someone that left talking about having a child and being heavily in ministry. You want to share a little bit behind your thought process behind responding back and where you were in that moment when you read it?
Yeah. I to be honest, I don't know what actually made me want to pick up my phone and respond, like, like take the time out. But I think when you go on these platforms and you share your stories and you open your life up to people, they only see like one specific thing in a split moment. And I think there are valid questions to ask me when it comes to my process that people are just not privy to. Now, how you do that can be respectful or disrespectful, but I think it's me in wanting to explain my healing process and wanting to share like how the Lord healed me for real. I have to look past the disrespect a lot of times to get to the meat of the thing. And I think for what was commented, I really wanted to share that like what you're concerned about concerning like my healing and me being a red flag, it was already talked about, so that if anybody else were to think about doing this, just know that like the people who put us together they've already went through that. Like they already asked me those questions, and then I was able to talk through those things with Dave as well. And so my heart really was, one, the gospel, but then also two, you're in good hands with the hearts, and I was in good hands with Dave. So hello, you want to join?
Yeah, no, it was such a classy response. I read it and I was like, wow, she's so sweet. That was such a great response towards it. So, Dave, did you read the comments?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I
Yeah,
have no.
stay out them comments.
I told her I barely even wanted to watch it back to begin with. But I did, but I didn't read any of the comments. I still haven't seen any of the comments. So I don't even know if they like me or not.
Well, for the most part, people were just wondering if you really like Shaquana. A lot of people are just like, I don't know, his facial expressions are saying that he doesn't. And so you
It's
kind of,
crazy.
yeah,
Like my friends, them, that's so wild. Like
yeah,
you never know what you're getting out of me. So
And like I said, we knew who you were looking at. We knew the smirk was intended for us. Like, man,
oh
how'd you
no,
find her? People, when he was looking off, he was looking at us.
yeah.
I was. Now also whenever I talk to anyone, like probably even this right here, I look off anyways. So if I looked, I was looking at them a lot, at you guys a lot,
Mhm.
but just being like, oh y'all are funny,
Yes.
but
And that's how we took it. That's
yeah,
exactly how we took it. So
yeah.
I hope that clears that up for everyone in the comments. He was just looking off as a confirmation.
I really was. I was like, y'all are like, even like going back to the singing thing. A lot of people will tell me like they can sing, and then like they're like they'll sing for me, or I'll go look at a video of them singing, and I'm like, right. That she can sing, she definitely backed it up at the end. So
She could.
Yeah, look, when I play back her singing, it's like anointing tears all over again. Like, man. So
Yeah, you can
yeah,
blow, girl. You
the
can blow.
sister's gifted.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. Well, we appreciate you both for coming on, taking some time to talking with us, sharing a little bit about your experience. We're hoping in the next few months when we do a reunion, we'll have you guys come. Reunion.
reunion.
Yep. Get your suit, your tux and gown prepared.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it.
And so we can really, do a thorough check-in months from now. So we're excited to catch back up with you guys in a few months. It was great seeing the both of your faces and seeing your smiles. Y'all two are just so warm and bubbly. I love it.
Babe is a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian for sure. But yeah, we thank everybody for tuning in and watching this check-in. Hopefully you guys have all your questions answered and you guys support their journey from here on out individually Their social media handles will be in the description box if you want to follow and support what they're doing. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Right Connection. We hope you enjoyed watching our participants' journey to find a meaningful connection.
Think you have what it takes to find the right connection? We're looking for singles ready to embark on their own journey to love.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. Share your favorite moments and insights in the comments below.
Don't miss out on future episodes. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always in the loop.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Right Connection.